What? Evan, your brothers keep hogging the Xbox! I want to play The Witcher 3! I don't give a shit about no Roblox Let's Play! Doc, can't this wait? I'm a little busy here. No, it can't! Wait. What are you doing? I'm just having an argument with some self-important neckbeard about, an important issue. Well, what are you arguing about? I guess the subject of our next video. I probably know what you're thinking. What issue was Evan debating that would cause us to make this video? Well, allow me to enlighten you. It is in fact an issue that impacts millions of Americans and the oppressed peoples of Kekistan. I'm sorry. They are not a very popular bunch right now. The jackasses of America, the obstructionists of Trump, the political ideology of the normies. Yes, we all know who they are. Democrats. Apart from their roots in the 19th century, the Democrats started out okay, and throughout the 20th century, they were integral to American culture, but it seems nowadays, people just really hate their fucking guts. I mean, some can't imagine why, but I'm gonna red pill those motherfuckers. I mean, apart from the normal divisiveness they've been causing lately and the shitstorm of scandals and public discourse that's been going on, things haven't been going the Democrats' way. I mean, they've been losing a lot of seats, both in the Senate and in Congresses throughout the U.S., at state and city levels. They don't seem to know why they're losing, but Evan does, and I'm going to explain it. I gotta warn you right now, if you're a liberal snowflake who's watching this video right now, I'm just gonna tell you, I make no apologies, and you're a fucking pussy. Well, to start off simply, the grassroots are a very integral part of middle-class America, and it seems Democrats have no way of relating to them. Allow me to educate you a little bit on the demographics of the United States, primarily using this political map. These days, conservatives reign primarily in the South, the Rust Belt, the Greater Midwest, and parts of Texas. I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but there aren't a lot of big cities out in those parts, and most of the careers and choice of jobs there constitute farming, working in factories, the coal mines, and I am very, very sorry to offend you, but most of the people who live there are white men and women. And I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but that also constitutes me and Evan, and his family. So, fuck you. On the other hand, with Democrats, they reign mostly in the big cities like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, San Francisco, Los Angeles, along the east and west coast, Oakland, Portland, Seattle, all those big shitholes. And it is in these shitholes of cities where tech companies like Apple and Google, all the major pussified campuses, Goldman Sachs and the big corporations, and all the wonderful minorities make their home, where the Democrats have their base and support. I mean, mainly thanks to entitlement culture and reliance on the state, which Democrats have had a death grip upon in these cities, and combine that with the white guilt of the white liberals in these democratic cities, that adds up to the liberal ideology that these Democrats have been trying to push upon conservative America, but they fail to realize that forcing ideologies on people who do not want to accept it does not work. And the truly sick thing is, whenever their ideology fails to catch on with conservatives, they don't look at themselves and try to find out where they're going wrong. Instead, they blame the rest of us. They are all very quick to place the blame on other people when things don't go their way, even amongst themselves, which has proven very truthful considering what's been happening lately with CNN, among Democrats in the Senate, and among the former Obama administration. They have only gotten this far in the 2016 election and post-election while they're still losing seats is by pandering to the emotions of the minorities and the college campuses. And of course, they need the help of their friends in Hollywood to help with that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's pathetic. And that fact is made all the more evident by what's been happening recently with the elections, you know? I mean, you've heard about what happened in Georgia and those other places around the U.S. with those 5 open seats, and the Democrats lost all 5. Like, here in Georgia, Democrats spend big in Georgia's special election to fill a House seat. Voters in Georgia's 6th congressional district voted in a special election runoff in 2 weeks. The race between Democrat John Ossoff and Republican Karen Handel is the most expensive U.S. House race in history. It is the most expensive congressional race in history. The campaign to replace now Health Secretary Tom Price in Georgia's 6th district in the Atlanta suburbs has cost nearly $30 million. Make no mistake, the Democrats spent a whole bunch of money on this one House seat, and they still lost. And people hate them. They still hate them. And another interesting, yet equally amusing thing about Democrats is how these days they just become so vulgar in their speeches. I mean, they've devolved to using coarse language in their emotional manipulations of their base. Yes, they have fallen that low. Think I'm a liar? Check out these videos.
He says, no, it's Ryan care. It's Trump care. Well, I have a name for it. It's I don't care. Because the Republican leadership doesn't give a shit about people who are suffering.
No. Fuck no. Instead, sorry. I understand this is a younger audience. It's okay. And even though we as Democrats are on the right side of almost all issues, many hardworking families just haven't felt that we've been fighting for them. Fundamentally, if we are not helping people, we should go the fuck home.
Do they honestly think being that vulgar really helps the minorities they claim to represent? The Democrats are always out for Trump's blood, and it's rubbing off on their fan base. And the Hollywood elite are always in on the act, like Snoop Dogg and Kathy Griffin, and it is firing up these Antifa cunts, which are staging riots in cities from Boston to LA. And, I mean, you heard about what they did in Berkeley, so I really don't need to go into specifics about that. And another thing about Democrats, which I'm not surprised by, but I really can't stand about them, is that they are such hypocrites. And nobody seems to know that better than James Comey. Yeah, see, here's the thing. James Comey was the former director of the FBI before Donald Trump fired him, who was charged in leading the investigation about the Russia probe the Democrats have been pushing for so very long. The Democrats of the United States Senate championed this man as he led the investigation into what they believe would lead to the impeachment of Donald Trump. But the minute he uncovered Hillary's emails, they turn a complete 180. And when Donald Trump finally fired James Comey, which had been a long time coming, the Democrats called it Nixonian. And as is expected of CNN and MSNBC, they went completely along with the Democrats' narrative, no matter how hypocritical the Democrats got, and no matter how stupid it made the MSM look in the eyes of the American public. And the non-stop flow of bias and propaganda that comes from the MSNBC only fuels domestic terrorist groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa. It's kind of funny, you know? I mean, Democrats claim to represent the minorities of America, but it turns out, back in the Civil War, Democrats defended slavery. The Democrats want to be the nanny state to minorities using the welfare system, like in crime-ridden inner cities. So, in a way, Democrats still have black people enslaved, and the poetic thing is, black people are willingly letting themselves be enslaved with their gangster thug culture. Unsurprisingly, many of America's big city mayors are Democrats. So, when young black males shoot up the neighborhoods, their mothers live off the welfare system established by the Democrats. And that is how they trap black people in. It's basically all the Democrats have going for them now that they've lost the House, the Senate, and now the White House. They and their base are losing their minds and pushing vacuous talking points because they simply cannot accept that they lost. And do you know what I think personally? A word of warning though, this is just my opinion. The Democrats are just going to keep losing seats the way they're going. In the House, the Senate, governor seats, and then the big city mayoral seats, and then the smaller cities across the U.S., until they just become a regional party. And then, what I think is going to happen is the Republican Party is going to split into two. The neoconservatives and the pro-Trump Republicans. And those become the two major parties of the United States Congress. Well, I think that about covers it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.